Welcome back. How you doing? Yeah, last video. I hope it's all right. It's I tried to put it out at midnight. I had problems with that, and it's three videos joined together because my phone was played up. Anyhow, what I've done this morning is, do you remember I left this with this little bit glued on either end? Well, I've just playing that. And can we just look at this now? Look at the quality of the jointing. What is that? There you go, a bit of fluff. The quality of the jointing, there's still a little bit of a line there actually, only a bit. But look at that, it's beautiful, it's beautiful. So it's all working great, I'm pleased with it. There's a bit of glue in there still, can you see? In there. So first thing I'm going to do, trim that up. But what you guys need to do is grab one of these, and I'll put you in there, and we'll get on with trimming this next, because after I've trimmed that, it's the extra timber around the outside, which I was just before I called you up. I was just looking at this lovely plank and seeing what I've got left, and yeah, lovely plank. Oh, we did some of those yesterday. Lots of coffee, loads of coffee. So yeah, that went well. So anyhow, let me put you in there, and then we'll get back together in a sec. How's that? Is that better? So what I'm going to do, I've just marked that up, and it was just with my fingers like that, the way we woodworkers do it, which is we just put a pencil on there and we just create lines like that, and we get pretty good at it. So I've just done that on there, just marked the top, so I've got a little line to do down there, and that's it. So I think I need, I could do this in small passes. I think what I'm going to do first is just put a bevel there, just to get an idea of what the grain's doing. I don't want it to do something wild and mad, so it's good to just take a little bit off and control. It's all about control really. Do you want to get a bit closer? Hang on. Is that better? I can see you. I've got my little monitor here and you're looking pretty good. So yeah, all I'm doing is I'm just taking the back off there, just to, and I'm keeping my fingers away from the end of the chisel so that you can see what's going on. So it's just to get some control over it. I'm going to put a little bevel down there, and I'm not going to push too hard down on the timber because some of this will be seen once I've removed this. I'm just going to work my way up, work my way back towards that pencil line. Bevel down now, just so I've got a bit more control. This should sort of split the glue line. It's not bad, it's not bad. I know I'm taking off about half of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slightly taper it. So as it goes in, so put slight taper on it like that. So as this goes into its slot on the camera, it sort of dovetails its way into the right place, right position, place. Bit of glue to remove. I'm going to try that. I've just marked it up again, and it needs a little bit more off. And let me turn this around and show you the sort of thing I do. Can you still see? Yeah. I'm going to do this the other way around so that you can see. It's a little bit uncomfortable for me, but I put the chisel, the back of the chisel, against a surface that is a known face that I'm happy with, and just slice like that. I can take this off now, and I find that works really well, rather than just stabbing at something and having a go at something. I do tend to like using the back of the chisel, using the chisel a bit of a scraper as well, and just scraping any mess away. What I'm going to do now here is just take that off and round that over. This can be like a sacrificial piece now, this little bit on the back there. Let's go and see if it works. Can you see from there? Hang on, let's pause you. Oh dear, sorry. So let's just drop that in there now and just see how it's doing. What I haven't told you is I'm working on this side at the same time, so that push the bottom in. There you go. So what I'm just dropping it in a bit, push it up and down a couple of times. Not heavy, not putting any stress on it. But what that will do is it'll just put a little shine on. Not having much luck today. Put a little shine on here. Come on, Jamie. There you go. Put a little shine on there, and then from that little shine, I can work it so that it fits. So I'm just going to carry on taking a bit off here for the minute, and you can stay and watch if you want. Just a little bit more off here. See where that shine is? I can see there's a shine just there on that surface, and I have to hold it up to the light to see exactly what's going on. And actually what it is it's the very corner, the very sharp edge, as so I'm just got a bit of sandpaper on here. I'm just going to round that off a bit, just so that it's, and a little bit of sandpaper doesn't hurt. Right, I'll come back to you in a minute when I've got that sorted. Okay, so with a bit of a winch, so you bring the frame to it like that, you put it in place, and with a little bit of a drop, it's nearly flush. It's pretty good. It needs a bit more pushing down the further end. I'll just sort that out and I'll get back to you guys. Okay, I'm happy with this now. So it's about an inch. You have to drop it, so if you put it in there, it's an inch that it goes down. It saves having a huge frame that drops in from the top. Clever, very clever. Get it to about, what have we got there, about 3/4 inch, and drop it, and it's tight. So that's good. It means that if somebody accidentally drops it down, it's wedging here, it's fitting down there. I want it to fit in a number of places, not just one place where it can do some damage. Anyhow, that's it. It's fitting flush. So I need to move on to the next bit. So have a little bit of tea. All right, let me show you where I'm up to. This is a smaller one, but can you see this detail? I've been studying this for the last, so this has been off for 15-20 minutes, and I've been looking at this construction, and I was looking to bring the frame from there and wrap it around this end, but I can't find any evidence or witness that it has. In fact, the colour from here back is darker than here, which shows me that there's something been in there for a long while. I mean, you can see it here, look, it's paler there than it is there. And yes, it could have been that panel, the focusing panel could have played a part in that. Anyhow, I'm looking at the details on here. Where were we? And it's this little detail here. This little detail around here, which camera makers use quite a lot. It's a good way of sorting the mitres out if you've got problems with mitres. Now I've got a couple of problems with mitres, and I'm just about to take some off there. In fact, I've taken a bit off a couple of faces. You know, yesterday we planed that surface down. Well, today I've been doing that, and I'll do a bit more in a second. I'll just finish this one in a second and show you. But look at that little detail there. Look at that lovely little around the outside. Now I've got to show you this. Ah, no. Oh, I hope that's still upright. Oh, it went upside down then for a minute. Right, so look at this tiny detail on here. This is my 98 and 99, and they live on this little bit of wood that I made a not quite a scratch stock, but I made a little tiny scratch in here to do that. Now I actually think I've probably filed it bigger since, so it would be a bit bigger than that. I've done this before. If you see that one, and hopefully Paul will be watching this, so hi Paul, hope you're well. If you look at that one, that did this. Oops, didn't it do it that way? Did that on there. Now that was without a scratch stock. That was just the scraper with a couple, and I've used it before. You can see I do little bits here and there. So I'm thinking now, I'm thinking now of doing that around the outside of here, inside of here I should say. And I probably might have to sort of stock out. We'll have a look. So I'm going to plane this up, and then I'm going to do that, and I'm just going to put that detail on so that it's ready for the door, because I think I'm ready for the door. I've just been looking at this door, and there's a couple of things I need to do, and we're using this door and the hinges and some of the parts there for the back of there, which is really quite exciting. But yeah, look at that little detail going into the corners and the mitres. You know, I can see here that mitre, I don't know if I can get it right for you guys, that mitre isn't quite in the corner, but yet they've put the moulding around it. I think it's a great little cheating method, and it can only be a fraction out. But if it's quicker to put that bead on than it is to sort that mitre out, let's do it. So that's what I'm going to do. So just a little bit more planing just down this one side. You can see I've got it cramped up again with the holdfast. And yeah, techniques are really important. And what I've just done is I've just put this larger chisel in there and just taken a bit off that corner, just to get rid of the little tiny step that was there. So this will go down now, and then it will find where I've chiseled away, and it will stop cutting from there. So it's a controlled cut all the way down. I've got my hand on the bench. I've got the plane pushed into the corner of the rebate, and I'm supporting it this side as well. And can you see that? So now you can see in that corner there's a small, I'm only going to do one more push of the plane, that's it. There's a small bevel just there, that's it. He says that's it, and then he comes back and does one a little bit more. There you go, not doing any more, that's it. So now I'm going to look at doing this little tiny moulding that you can see just there. So how am I going to do it? Well, I could cramp a piece of wood down here either side. I could cramp it onto a block so that it sat on the bench. If I put a piece of wood down here, it would actually sit. Let's get that bit of sandpaper block and show you. If I did that and cramped it there, it would actually sit in the rebate. Maybe that's the way to do it. Cramp it to the right height, sit it in the rebate, yeah, so I'll make something and then we'll come back. Right, I've been messing around for a bit and I've made this. So 2 pieces of beech, that's all it is. Screws coming through the back, I'm not worried about that. So what I've done on there, can you see there's a pencil line? The pencil line is the depth of rebate there, okay? And what I've actually done is I've put the bottom of the dip in there, the bottom of the flute in there, level with that pencil line. So now this should take, and I haven't had a practice with it, and I'm not gonna practice with it, I'm just gonna go straight onto it. This should take a pretty good little shaving. So what I'm mindful of is I'm keeping this upright and I'm keeping this horizontal, and if I do that I should be okay. So this will get me to within 1/4 inch of the ends, so that's all right. If I want it to go a bit closer, I could do the rest by hand, so not worried about that. So can you see what's being created? Whoops! Come on, don't play. Can you see what's being created now? Let me get you a little bit closer. How's that? Is that a bit better? Hopefully. So I'll try and do it so that my hand's not covering the. I'm going to push for this bit. So what's happening is it's taking a small. I can't do it like that. I'd have to move you. It's just taking a small piece, a bit off each time. Now what would make this even better now is for me to, can you see where it's catching the, see that dark area, it's sitting on the rebate? If I just rounded that very slightly, that would allow me to get into it a bit easier. But as you can see, it's doing a pretty good job, so I'm okay with it. I'm not going to make any adjustments to it. The idea is that it stays set up until you finish the job. Well, this isn't the only thing to do, is it? I've got a couple more bits to do, so I think this card's going to stay stuck in here for a little while. But anyhow, what do you think? That's looking pretty good. I'll just notice how my hand is always supported either by the bench or by the timber. That way I'm keeping everything fluid, I'm keeping everything on track. Ooh, that was nice, that was nice. It slowed me down then just to do that little cut. I'm going to bring you down here so that you can see what's going on with this thing. So this is my view, and when I'm putting that on there, you can see that it sits like that, and then along we go. And yeah, it's quite cool. It's quite cool. I mean, you can see now what it's creating. This, when it comes up to there, will look great. And it will be in keeping with what's going on here. So I think that's it for now. I'm going to carry on with that. There's a bit of work to do there, so I'm going to finish that. I won't. I'll do most of that, and I'll leave one corner to show you guys how I finish the corners off. So I'll do 3 corners, find the best way that suits me, and then we'll go to that. Thanks for watching. Keep following, subscribing, sharing. Please share with others. If anybody out there wants to buy me a coffee, that'd be great. Yeah, thanks for watching. I'll catch up with you soon. Okay, cheers.